Hello everyone. Schools are still not reopened, but studies are going on. In this consequent, again I am R.A.Jha from Sri Mahavir Marwadi High School in front of you with a video which is about the chapter 2.2, The Boy Who Broke the Bank. My dear friends, this is a story or a report of an incident which indicates that how a rumor can break a bank, how a rumor can be so powerful that it can break a bank. So let us see what is the chapter and what are the effect of a rumor. So here is the chapter, The Boy Who Broke the Bank. How a boy can break the bank? Can you imagine? It is all because of a rumor. At the end of the chapter, you will see that a rumor can be so powerful. What is a rumor and what is a fact? We will discuss it before going through the chapter. My dear friend, here is a quote. A lie can run round the world before truth has boots on. It is very clear that a lie has much less speed than the speed of a truth. We can compare the speed of a lie with the speed of a hare, and the speed of a truth can be compared with the speed of a turtle. How and why? My dear friend, reason is the mankind. Generally, the mankind practices to speak what is received by anywhere without getting its confirmation about that news, that statement. We generally convey the messages what we have received. In this social media time, we use a word fake. This is a fake news. This is actually fake. This is not correct. This is fake. We can say rumor is a fake, which is not actually correct. Let us see. Now you can conclude that how a lie can run round the world before truth has boots on, because truth is generally not accepted by the mankind and lies are spreading everywhere with a bullet speed. Here, what is rumor? A story or a statement in general circulation without confirmation or certainty as facts. So, rumors are that statement which have not any confirmation or certainty, and it is spreading widely in general. And what is the fact? A statement that is known or proved to be true. Fact is that which is a certain and which is proved to be true, actually the true, which is not fake. This is actually facts. Now you can differentiate the fact and the rumor. In the chit chat activity, there are some statements given to you and you have to differentiate them whether they are fact or rumor. Cow gives birth to a calf. In 2025, the sun will swallow the earth. You receive a message that you have won rupees 5 crores in a lottery. Bees beat their wings 270 times a second. Many ships and aeroplanes have disappeared in Bermuda Triangle. Driverless cars are no more a dream. Sophia is world's first robot citizen. Gods dwell in banyan trees. Do not step out on a new moon day. Aliens will conquer the earth. These are the statements which you have to classify into fact and rumor. My dear friends, I hope you have understood what is rumor and what is fact. And so You have to do these activity into your notebook. So here is the chapter about the author. The author of this chapter is Ruskin Bond, is an Indian author of British descent. He lives with his adopted family in Landour in Missouri, India. The Indian Council for Child Education has recognized his role in the growth of children's literature in India. He got the Sahitya Academy Award in 1992 for Our Trees Still Grow in Dehra. He was awarded Padma Shri and Padma Bhushan respectively in 1999 and 2014. So, this is a very interesting chapter written by Ruskin Bond, who is an Indian author, lived in Missouri, and he is awarded by many awards in his life. So let us see what is the chapter. This is the scene first in front of the Pimple Nagar Bank, page 48 and 49. Nathu grumbled to himself as he swept the steps of the Pimple Nagar Bank owned by Seth Govindra. He used the small broom hurriedly and carelessly, and the dust, after rising in a cloud above his head, settled down again on the steps. As Nathu was banging his pan against a dustbin, Sitaram, the washerman's son, passed by. Sitaram was on his delivery round. He had a bundle of freshly pressed clothes balanced on his head. "Don't raise such dust," he called out to Nathu. "Are you annoyed because they are still refusing to pay you an extra 2 rupees a month?" "I don't wish to talk about it," complained the sweeper boy. "I hadn't even received my regular pay, and it's the 20th of the month. Who would think a bank would hold up a poor man's salary? As soon as I get my money, I am off. Not another week I work in this place." And Nathu banged the pan against the dustbin several times just to emphasize his paint and giving himself confidence. "Well, I wish you luck," said Sitaram. "He will keep a lookout for any jobs that might suit you," and he plodded barefoot along the road, the big bundle of clothes hiding most of his head and shoulders. So, my dear friend, here is the first scene where we can see a sweeper by Nathu is sweeping in front of the Pimple Nagar Bank, whose owner is Seth Govindra, and Nathu is little angry and showing his angerness while he is sweeping in front of the bank. At the same time, his friend Sitaram passed by, and Sitaram is a boy of washerman. He is on his delivery round, and he is having with him a bunch of pressed clothes. When Sitaram seen the Nathu, he said him, Why are you annoyed? Because they are still refusing to pay you an extra 2 rupees a month." In response, Nathu said, "I don't wish to talk about it." It is clear that Nathu is not having been paid for his work, and he is little bit sad or angry about this, and Sitaram is telling him that is why he is angry, and he said Nathu said to him that as soon as I will get my money, I am off. I will not work here even for a week. And to show showing his anger, he banged the pan against the dustbin Thereafter, Sitaram said, well, I will wish you luck. I will keep a lookout for any jobs that might suit you. The Sitaram said to him that he will search for any other job for him which can be suitable to Nathu. And thereafter, by holding the bundle into on his head and shoulders, he went on. So, two friends talked with each other and thereafter they again started their work. And what happened next? This is the scene 2, house of Mrs. Srivastava and thereafter market. Page number 4950. At the fourth home he visited, Sitaram heard the lady of the house mentioned that she was in need of a sweeper. Tying his bundle together, he said, I know a sweeper boy who's looking for work. He can start from next month. He is with the bank just now, but they are not giving him his pay and he wants to leave. Is that so? Said Mrs. Srivastava. Well, tell him to come and see me tomorrow. And Sitaram, glad that he had been of service to both a customer and his friend, hoisted his bag on his shoulder and went his way. Mrs. Srivastava had to do some shopping. She gave instructions to the ayah about looking after the baby and told the cook not to be late with the midday meal. Then she set out the People Nagar marketplace to make the customary tour to the cloth shops. A large cherry tamarind tree grew at one end of the bazaar, and it was here that Mrs. Srivastava found her friend Mrs. Bhushan, sheltering from the heat. Mrs. Bhushan was fanning herself with a large handkerchief. She complained of the summer, which she affirmed was definitely the hottest in the history of Pimpalnagar. She then showed Mrs. Srivastava a sample of the cloth she was going to buy, and for 5 minutes they discussed its shade, texture, and design. Having exhausted this topic, Mrs. Srivastava said, do you know, my dear, that St. Govindram's bank can't even pay its employees? Only this morning I heard a complaint from their sweeper who hasn't received his wages for over a month. Shocking, remarked Mrs. Bhushan. If they can't pay the sweeper, they must be in a bad way. None of the others could be getting paid either. She left Mrs. Srivastava at the tamarind tree and went in search of her husband, who was sitting in the front of Kamal Kishore's photography shop, talking with the owner. So, there you are, cried Mrs. Bhushan. I have been looking for you for almost an hour. Where did you disappear? Nowhere, replied Mrs. Bhushan. Had you remained stationary in one shop, I might have found you. But you go from one shop to another like a bee in a flower garden. Don't start grumbling. The heat is trying enough. I don't know what's happening to Pipal Nagar. Even the bank's about to go bankrupt. What's that? Said Kamal Kishore, sitting up suddenly. Which bank? Why, the Pipal Nagar Bank, of course. I hear they have stopped paying employees. Don't tell me you have an account there, Mr. Kishore. No, but my neighbor has, he exclaimed. He called out over the low partition to the keeper of the barber shop next door. Deep Chand, have you heard the latest? The Pipal Nagar Bank is about to collapse. You had better get your money out as soon as you can. So, my dear friend, here is the scene at the home when Sitaram went to deliver the pressed cloth. He talked with the owner of house, Mrs. Srivastava, that his friend is a sweeper and he needs a job and he can join to Mrs. Srivastava as she is needed a sweeper. Thereafter, Sitaram became very glad that he had informed his customer about his friend's need, and he in this way helped both of them, to a customer and his friend also. Thereafter, Mrs. Srivastava, by giving some instruction to her ayah and cook, went to the market where she wanted to buy some cloth. Under a tamarind tree, she met with her friend Mrs. Bhushan. At under that tree, they have discussed about the heat and about the cloth and its texture and shades, etc. And thereafter, they exhausted by this topic, and Mrs. Srivastava has changed the topic and told Mrs. Bhushan about the condition of a bank. She said, "Do you know, my dear, that Seth Govindram's bank can't even pay its employees? Only this morning I heard a complaint from their sweeper, who hasn't received his wages for over a month." She informed her friend that the bank of Govindram is unable to pay their employees, and it made Mrs. Bhushan very shocking. And thereafter, she went to her husband, which was sitting in the Kamal Kishore's photography shop, and there, on the courtesy talking, she informed her husband that the bank, People Nagar Bank of Govindram Seth, is unable to pay their employees, and she came to know from her friend. As the words heard by the photography shop owner, Mr. Kamal Kishore, he jumped and he said, "What is that? And which bank?" Then they said him, "Why, the People Nagar Bank, of course. I hear they have stopped paying employees. Don't tell me you have an account there, Mr. Kishore." Then, to reply that, Mr. Kishore said, "Actually, my account is not there, but my neighbor, the barber shop's owner, Deep Chand, has his account there." And rapidly, the Kamal Kishore informed the Deep Chand and asked him to withdraw the amount from the bank as early as possible. Hence, the news spread from Sitaram to Mrs. Srivastava, Mrs. Srivastava to Mrs. Bhushan, and thereafter Mr. Bhushan came to know, and consequently Kamal Kishore, the owner of photography shop, and the barber shop's owner Deep Chand, known the news that the People Nagar Bank is in very bad condition and unable to pay their employee. So you can see that how a simple anger shown by a sweeper, in which manner spread through Sitaram, Mrs. Srivastava, Mrs. Bhushan, Mr. Bhushan, Kamal Kishore, the photography shop's owner, and thereafter the barber shop's owner, Mr. Deep Chand. Had it stopped here, or it spread anywhere, and what was its effect? Let us see into the second part of the video. Till then, guess what happened? If you can read the book and know whether your guessing is correct or not. Otherwise, give your eyes little rest. Thereafter, watch the second part of the video and know what happened next, what are the effects of that rumor, and what happened till the end of the chapter. Okay, have a nice day. Thank you.